Welcome back to Nick Lenz's Movie Reviews. This is episode 48 and double feature number 12. Okay? And we're going to go over the first two Alien films with this episode. First up is going to be the original film that started it all. The original Alien film, directed by Ridley Scott and starring Sigourney Weaver and a bunch of other people. I don't remember who the rest of the cast are. Let's see. I mean, the film was released in 1979, which a couple years ago. Yeah, I got this a couple years ago. I think that, 2 years ago was the film's 35th anniversary. The film itself has been out now for 37 years. So, in just a few years, it'll be its 40th anniversary. So, at that point, I will be. So, when it celebrates its 40th anniversary, I will be 31. Yes, I am currently 28 right now. So, yeah. So, whenever it comes up, of course. Here we go. Alright. Now, the film starts. Tom Skerritt, he's the captain in the Nostromo. That's actually the ship that pretty much the whole film is based in. You have Victoria Cartwright as Lambert, and she was also in Birds. You have Henry Dean Stanton as the engineer technician as Brett. John Hurt as Kane. Yeah, the same guy who recently played the Doctor, the War Doctor. Ian Holm as Ash. Yaphet Kado as Parker, which I'm familiar with this guy. Yeah, this guy was the guy was in Live and Let Die, and he was also. This is actually one of the 3 films I've seen him in. The other 2 were Live and Let Die, and what was the other film? Oh yes, Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare. And of course, well, now interesting little facts about this film. The whole set, like the whole ship, is actually a very contained set. They actually built that thing. That's not CGI, like if it is, say, be mostly CGI or green screen. None of this was green screen at all. I think the only thing green screen was maybe the planet, which was LV-226, 226, I believe it was. Which basically when they go back to the second film, I don't know. As far as I know, they don't go back to it in the sequels. But on the planet, they find this thing, this alien ship. Now, as for the creature on board, this guy, that wasn't explored into the film Prometheus, which I'll probably get to in the review. But now the film is the only film in the series directed by Ridley Scott. Prometheus is sort of a semi-prequel to this film, but yeah. Also, despite the fact Ash is supposed to be an android, why does he take breaths like he's his chest going up and down? That itself really makes no sense. I mean, yeah, it's a big plot twist. I know I'm spoiling that particular point of the film, but the film is 37 years old. Yeah, it's very claustrophobic. It's a great film to watch. It's one of the 2 best films of the 4 films so far released. There's a 5th one coming out soon, which I have heard Neil Blomkamp is directing it, and Sigourney Weaver is coming back for it. Now, Sigourney Weaver's character she plays in all the films, 5 to include the next Alien film, which I think that's going to be called. Let's see. What is that 5th Alien film? Now, apparently this film has been developed for some time. Now, originally, they wanted to do this film. The only reason why they canceled it before, okay, it's going to be called, let's see. If I can find it here. it has not have a name yet. All we know is just the 5th Alien film. But the original Alien film is awesome. I should point out that the alien suit, some people do know this who have seen the film. Like, who designed the actual alien itself? It's credited as H.G. Geiger, or Giger is how you pronounce the guy's name. Who knows? The guy is Swiss. But he's always credited as the creator of the xenomorph. It wasn't called xenomorph until next time. It was just basically some alien creature they found. And the film is a bit gory in a way. But, yeah, if this film was made nowadays, it would have much more gore. The gore would be over the top. But it's a great film to watch, and I highly recommend it. I give this film a 10 out of 10. It's an awesome film to see. Alright? Next, of course, is Aliens, directed by James Cameron. Now, here's something that you may not know about this film. Now, this film was released in 1980... what? I think it was the 80s. It was, I think it was 86. Yeah. The film was released in 1986. Now, the reason why it took 7 years to make this film... Yeah, and of course they failed the colony. The reason why it took that particular long time, because even though the film did make a good buck, Fox at that point was not interested in a sequel. It took a new person in charge of the actual company, this next studio. It took up until 1983 to finally decide to start making a sequel. Now, how did James Cameron get it? This is actually quite interesting. He got the director's spot simply for they had one stipulation. Terminator had to be a hit in order for it had to be a hit at the box office in order for him to get the director's spot for Aliens, which he got. And the film became a survival horror film like it was in the first one. The second film was a sci-fi action film, which, okay, this film actually does work this way. I should point out that there's 2 Marines here. One is played by Bill Paxton, who is credited for being the only person killed by a xenomorph and a predator ever in films. The other one, who is actually one of the particular top Marines, who actually takes over as the head of the Colonial Marines, which they're introduced in this very film. Yeah, they're introduced in this very film, and at the end of the first film, apparently Ripley gets sent off into space. Well, she gets on an escape pod after the Nostromo gets destroyed, and he sends Xenomorph into space, and she basically remains sort of in stasis for 56 years. So she spends nearly 6 decades in stasis. And the cat that she got in the first film does return, but it's seen briefly, and then it's never mentioned up again. Now, there are people who actually... Now, there are some people who had at this point never saw the first one, but saw the second film first. You didn't necessarily have to see the first one to understand the first. You'd see the first one to get what was going on in the second film, because they do explain it pretty well. Me, on the other hand, when I start watching this film series, I started with the very first film, Alien. That's just how I do things. I start from the beginning and watch the character progression. Okay. One of the Marines, who later becomes the head Marine after the sergeant is killed, well, disappears actually, never confirmed exactly what happened to him. As a matter of fact, there were a few Marines that actually did not confirm what happened to them. It's Corporal Hicks, played by Michael Biehn. It's actually one of 4 films I've ever seen this guy in. 3 of the films are James Cameron films. I saw him in the original Terminator film, this film, The Abyss, and Clock Stoppers. So I've seen him in 4 films, and I have heard he is coming. That I think it's confirmed. I think it is. That he's coming back for the 5th Alien movie. Well, it's just a big rumor that he might come back. It's a definite that Sigourney Weaver is definitely coming back, because originally they were not going to do Alien 5 because she didn't like the script, so they canceled the movie. But basically, Alien 5 has been sort of development hell for I don't know, nearly almost 20 years. So it's great the fact they're doing it. Now this one's very action-packed, and this is the first of, I'd say, 3 films in the Alien, first of 3 films to feature the Alien Queen. The Queen looks magnificent in the film. Yeah, and I got to hand to Cameron. He did a great job with this film. And it's nice to see Ripley more of the action hero role that she kind of started to get to in the first film. Yeah, even though she's credited first in this film. Yes, she gets top bill. Like in the film, it went to Skirk. In the sequel, in this one, it went to, I think, her, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it went to Sigourney. Sigourney got the top billing in the film. Now, Michael B., as of course, like I said, he played Corporal Hicks. Peter Russell, he played Carter Burke, who's commonly referred to by his last name. Lance Henderson plays Bishop, who also reprises for the third, who also shows up in the third film. There's also the character Newt, played by Carrie Hennon. I don't know. I don't think the actor. Yeah, it says she never came actress after this. Of course, Bill Paxton. Lieutenant Gorman is played by William Hope. Sergeant Apon is played by Al Matthews, and Rico Ross is played by Private Frost. Now, one thing I do like about Ripley, she points this out when when Sergeant Apon goes missing and Lieutenant is basically very incompetent. He's basically, when he's deemed incompetent, basically Ripley points this out, and all the Marines agree with her. Hicks is the one in charge, not Burke. Yeah, I thought that was like one of the best scenes of the film. It's like, yeah, Burke, you're not in charge. Despite the fact you represent the company, this is a military operation because of the xenomorphs. And this is the one they refer to as xenomorphs. Now, initially, the Watani Corporation did not actually believe Ripley that they thought that she was lying. So they took away all of her license. They basically fired her from the company, and this lasted for barely a month. And apparently, LV-226, they launched, they terraformed the planet so they can actually have people living on it. And it is confirmed in the film that the colony is comprised of exactly, from what I've heard, exactly 113 people, because Newt was never turned into a xenomorph. Everyone else was turned into a xenomorph very quickly. And somehow, apparently the colony at that point had been around for 20 years, and they never detected any problems. So, and then all of a sudden someone, apparently Burke actually was the one who did this, sent a family out in this very futuristic vehicle. I'm not sure what it is. It might be a Humvee. Possibly. I don't know what this thing is. They send them out and they go to the ship. They don't show the inside like they do in the first film. Which, it looks awesome in the first film. But this film, they take on the alien queen. Of course, the queen gets shoved into space. And that's pretty much when it comes to that. But James Cameron proved that he could definitely do an alien movie. Yeah, he definitely proved that. This was, I believe, his second sci-fi movie he's ever done. Though I have heard he did do some special effects for Escape from New York. Now, this film, even though it took 7 years, that was actually a pretty good period of time to develop this movie. Which I do praise the people for doing this. But like the first film, it's awesome. And from what I've heard, the next 2 films, even though they're going to be retcon, I want to talk about those 2 films next episode when they get a retcon with the 5th film. But Aliens, awesome movie, highly recommended, 10 out of 10. Okay, that's it for this episode. Stay tuned for the next episode, which will be episode 49 and double feature number 13. Okay, but until then, I will see you there.